We talked before about Trump's misuse of presidential authority to enrich himself, primarily through cryptocurrency and his other various holdings. Well, he's at it again. So let's look at how, in this edition of The Unpopulist's Executive Watch, Abuse of the Week. Last week, Trump Media and Technology Group, the company behind Truth Social, announced it had filed with the SEC for registration of 5 exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. If you're like me and have little clue what that is, it's basically a big bundle of stocks, bonds, or other assets that you can invest in all at once that somebody else manages the contents of, rather than you having to buy stocks in a bunch of individual companies. These 5 America First themed ETFs are focused on 5 distinct sectors: energy, security and defense, real estate, but only in red states, American icons, and next frontiers, which sounds like it could be about technology or maybe space, but at this point could just as easily be an investment in time travel.
Great Scott!
But why does any of this matter? Well, as a reminder, Donald Trump is the majority shareholder of Trump Media and Technology Group, having bought nearly 53% of shares worth about $4 billion. So if that company does well, so does the president. Now, Trump did place those assets into a trust this past December, but he also put his own son, Don Jr., in charge of it. It's pretty easy to see why this all amounts to what Jordan Leibowitz from Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington calls a jaw-dropping conflict of interest. Trump is involved in every part of this transaction. He has immense indirect influence over industries as president, which, if they do well, means he makes more money through Trump Media Group. But he also exerts control over the SEC, whose job it is to regulate those investments. Every step of the way, Trump is able to put his finger on the scales and bend the markets and law toward his own enrichment. And we're already seeing the effects. Just since his return to the White House, Trump's net worth has almost doubled, with almost every investment in his portfolio doing well, including his previously stalled real estate business, which has suddenly come roaring back to life. Make no mistake, it is not a fluke that Donald Trump has lined his pockets since coming back into office. It's by design. And that's this edition of Executive Watch Abuse of the Week. To keep up with the entire project, subscribe for free at theunpopulist.net.